Totally. I had just clipped up an old video today where I talked about, sometimes you encounter, a seeming contrary thing in an unfolding. And
Mm.
my personal belief, and I've seen this confirmed many times, is that, well, A, you just persist through it, but these things are usually coming up to help you. They're usually coming up to let you know about a larger assumption you have in place that you either need to let go of or you probably should let go of, if you want to continue on to the final manifestation. For example, like let's say someone wants to manifest a relationship, and in the course of getting back together with this person, y'all have a big fight, and it brings up like two really big self concept issues you have going on. Well, this is actually a great opportunity for you to let go of those and for you to let go of this pattern of fighting with loved ones, because obviously that's not going to be something you want in the end state of a committed marriage. So it's in no way contrary to your end. It's helping you get there and enjoy it at an even deeper level. I mean, have you had manifestations where you like had like a big seeming contradiction, but then it totally worked out, and the way that it worked out enhanced the end result?
I think, for me, I definitely have over the years seen a dramatic change in a number of relationships, none more so than the relationship I had with my mother. Um, it was definitely very strained for a long time. And it wasn't until I found Neville's teachings and working on manifestations and sharing with her these things that we were able to come closer, but also understanding that at the end of the day, everyone in you are here for the human experience. And the human experience falters, it gets scared. Ultimately, this world is made up of two emotions. That's it, love and fear. And there are some things that come out of fear, that come out of past traumas, current traumas, ongoing events that manifest into certain conflicts within relationships, but that doesn't mean it's a reflection of that relationship yourself. It just means that it's just a moment in time that happened and can be undone and can be revised. And an understanding that at the core of everyone is God, and there are only states in this world. And from the worst person you think you know to the best, it's all God, and therefore it's all at the end of it love, because even in the moments that you have and that I've had really deep painful heartache, it's only to push you to understand the truth, right? The truth of who you are, the truth of what this world is, the truth of the law, and the truth that ultimately it all leads to the promise. And, I remember in the midst of just a really difficult time with my mom, I was just like, like why is this happening? Why did this, a lot of kind of childhood traumas coming up, and why did this happen? And I remember going back and listening to Neville lectures, and going back to the time where he talks about how Christ um, went out into the street and he had his apostles with him, and in the street was a blind man, and the blind man had been born blind. And one of the apostles asked Christ, why is he blind? Did he do something? Did he sin? And Christ said, no, this man did not sin. He didn't do anything wrong. And another apostle asked Christ, well, did his parents sin? Did someone sin for him to deserve being blind, to be born blind? And Christ said, no. Christ answered, he is blind so the works of the Lord may be manifest in him. And so there are moments in life where you are pushed into really turbulent extremes and sometimes incredibly painful things with people you deeply love but have a combative relationship with. And You know, it's your responsibility to pull yourself out of that cycle, but to also understand that the only reason fear exists, the only reason that side exists, the only reason this individual was blind or that conflict happened was to push you so the manifest of the works of God may be true in you. And therefore, you awaken to the law, you awaken to the promise, you awaken to the realization. Um, and so that is how I look at it now. Of course, there were many times where you're in the midst of that chaos, where it's hard to see that. But in the end, that is the truth. And all of it is just a temporary state.
All right, so I think we're gonna I'm gonna play another of my friend's Easter miracle story, and then when we come back, I'm doing that right now because it's probably about the middle of the stream, and then I have chunky questions that are gonna take up a bit of time, so I'm not gonna ask them right now. But so I'm gonna play this. My friend Kiara had a really awesome manifestation that she and her mom manifested together. And I don't want to say much more than that because I'm going to let her tell the story. And when we come back from that, we're going to talk about time and the promise. All right, so let me scoot it over to the clouds and then I'm going to play her story.